Hey all, welcome to my channel. I was somewhat off, somewhat right. I mean, honestly, yeah, the game three, Dallas didn't show up. I mean, yeah, Luca got pretty much fouled out in the towards the end of the game. So as a result, they were going to lose. I mean, they were kind of keeping it close. Irving didn't show up, whatever it may be. But in any case, you knew after that they were going to, Dallas had pretty much nothing to lose. So like they might as well just go crazy and just like bust out and show up at that point, and which they did. I mean, honestly, it was kind of a surprise how much they won by. Quite honestly, I mean, I'll be surprised to the point where like if they can do this again in Game Five, quite honestly, because I knew they weren't going to be swept. There's no way that Dallas was going to be swept, but at the same time, it was one of those things where let's be honest, it's more of a case where like the fact is after the game happened. I mean, like the fact that they won by or practically by 40 points, practically, which is like damn. Uh, I think the Celtics themselves were pretty much like, you know what, we can let this game go. Like we'll try to play it, haphazardly, whatever it may be. Look for the Celtics to probably come back in Game Five and go hard, but at the same time, we're gonna see Dallas come in and play like the intensity that they had in Four, in Game Five as well too. The real question is if they have that same intensity, then they probably can win Game Five. But the problem is of course, the fact of the matter is like on Monday, they're going to be playing in the Garden. So I hate to say this, but look for Boston to win that game and win it in 5 games. I mean, honestly, I thought Game Three, Dallas could have showed up, was going to show up, and they were going to take Game Three because like there was like the fact that they lost for Game One and Game Two the way they lost. I thought they were going to do what they were going to do, like almost what they did in Game Four, but a little bit less intensity per se. Or I mean, I thought it was going to be a close game. Put out quite honestly in Game Three, Game Four, I figured Dallas is going to go all out. They're going to have the high intensity days. Like we're not going to get blown out in our own. We're not going to get swept in our own home. That's pretty much what was going to happen. But Dallas is not gonna win this series. Let's be honest, they're not gonna win this series. No matter how good they are, no NBA team has ever come back down from 3-0. Now you're gonna say, well, teams have come back down 3-1. Yes, 3-1 and 3-0 are two different stories. Now you're gonna point out to like the hockey series as well as you're gonna point to the Red Sox in the divisional playoff where or conference play. Basically, yeah, the conference playoff where the Red Sox were down 3-0 against the Yankees. But let's be honest, the Yankees in Game Four they were playing blasé a little bit. In Game Five, they were playing blasé at that point as well too, and that's why it seemed like they didn't care as much. In this situation with the Celtics and Mavericks, I think what's going to happen is even though Tatum had a decent game in Game Five, look for Tatum to come out in Game Five. Sorry, Game Four he was like decent but not great. I mean he was off a little bit, but look for Tatum and Brown, both of them up together, come out to half or if not half, but more than the rest of the team in points because they're going to score a hell of a lot. Let's be honest with that. Tatum and Brown are not going to let this opportunity slip by them. Even though Porzingis is out, let's see if he comes back. But look for Drew Holiday basically containing Irving. He's going to contain Irving. They're going to try to let Doncic beat them out, but he's going to contain Irving. Look for Tatum and Brown basically to go all out, bust out, and pretty much score everything at that point. Put it this way. They're playing in the Garden. Look for the Celtics to win Game Five. They will be winning Game Five for sure at this point. And I'll just leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that's going to be the case, or do you think Dallas has a shot and they might bring it to 7 games, maybe 6? That's what I thought it would have been. Also, what the fact is it's kind of surprising. I don't want to say surprising, but it was interesting how Barkley came out and says like, yeah, he retiring on air. Like next year is going to be his final year, whatever it may be. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. Barkley's going to be. He's going to be part of it. He needs to be on air. He's going to be on air. He wants to stay relevant, just like Shaq's going to stay relevant. Do not be surprised seeing Barkley calling or hosting, not hosting, but being a commentator of sorts for college basketball games. He'll be doing that for college basketball games for sure. Because like this is a guy that loves the NBA. He loves basketball, and he's gonna be talking about college basketball. When you saw him during the NBA March Madness, not NBA, when you were seeing him during the NCAA March Madness for the past 2 years, no relevancy, but he loves talking basketball. Which brings up a point in which I gotta ask. I have to ask. Everyone was saying, I mean, I hate to say this, I'm a Gen Xer, but I hate to say this, but like maybe Barkley was better than Jordan. I hate to say this, maybe Barkley is better than Jordan. Look, because like put it this way. Jordan had Pippen. You know that to win in this league, to win an NBA championship, you need another tier 1 all-star or superstar to help you, complement you to win. Jordan had Pippen. LeBron had Kyrie. LeBron also had Wade. LeBron had also AD. Let's not forget that. Who else? Robinson had Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan had Ginobili and Parker. Kobe had Shaq for a while there, and also Wade did have Shaq there before he had LeBron, so he did have Shaq there as well too. What else? Yeah, Kobe had Shaq, and after Shaq, he did have Gasol and Meta for a while there as well too, and that's at that point. Barkley had almost no one. Everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Dan Marley." Dan Marley wasn't that great. He was just a really good shooter, but he wasn't that great. And Curry had, of course, Durant, and he had Clay with Green. So Draymond Green. So Barkley didn't have, and remember, Jordan not only had Pippen, he had Rodman for a while for there, as well as Tony Kukoc. So it's kind of interesting to see if Jordan didn't have Pippen. I'm kind of curious. Where would they be? Where would the Bulls be? Would they have won those championships? Giannis almost pretty much did it by himself at that point. And let's be frank. Giannis with Drew Holiday was able to get far at that point, and they were able to win that series. Similar to when the Raptors won. Everyone's gonna say Kawhi did it on himself. He didn't do it on his own. I think it was a consortium of the team. The team as a whole made them to where they were. Let's not forget, if he doesn't get that bucket at the end, Philadelphia is going into the finals against Golden State. And I'm gonna have to do a thorough analysis. I'm gonna have to do a deep analysis and show up another video of this. But I'm gonna have to post it out there. But like, I hate to say this, but Barkley bringing the Suns into the finals against the Bulls, I mean, it was 4-2, but the fact that they won 2 games, it was mostly all Barkley practically at that point. And the fact that Barkley was keeping the entire team in play, and then, of course, when he went to the Rockets, Olajuwon and Drexler were pretty much declining at that point, and they already won their championships. Olajuwon already won one. I mean, it would have been great if they could have gotten Barkley in there, but the problem is this 3 superstars was never going to work, honestly. It's going to be hard to do that. And we saw it with the Miami Heat. It takes a couple of years for them to gel and realize, and like, okay, hey, let's go with this. Barkley, I think Drexler relegated to Olajuwon. I think Barkley, if he relegated it to Olajuwon as being the star and he being the go-to guy, I think they probably would have gone at that point. But in any case, it's kind of wondering, like, this is where I would have loved Barkley. If Barkley had gone to the Knicks instead of the Suns, had he gone to the Knicks probably would have had more championships at that point. Because honestly, between Barkley and Ewing versus Jordan and Pippen, I think the Knicks would have gotten past the Bulls in 93, 94, 95, 96, 97 as well, for sure, for a fact. But in any case, I'll leave it at that. Comments on about the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics game. Please post up anything or put a comment on the Barkley Jordan thing. I'll put something out, another video about that later. I don't know when, but I'll put it out there when I have stats and all that stuff. And then you can comment on that at that point. I mean, you could comment on this section and let me know if you think I should do a thorough analysis to back up my claims. But I'm going to try to back up my claims anyways. But anyways, please be your thoughts in the comment section. And I do read my comments and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. With that, I'll leave it at that. If you like my channel, like my video, like my content, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.